Hi guys, today I want to start on this bracelet. I'm going to show you how to do this. Before we can start this, you will need some things that to set this up. Okay, so what I got is, like, I have a roll here that I use for posters, which I'm going to wrap my threads around. Then I got a dumbbell, something heavy, to put in front of it. Now, of course, not everybody has a dumbbell in the house, so if you got one of these, then just put something heavy on the sides of the roll, so that when you pull this, it doesn't get to pull too far forward. So to start off, you need 16 threads, which are basically 8 threads because they're doubled up. And you need 4 threads for the 4 lines here of a thicker thread. I'm going to use cotton that is specially for babies. It says Katia Monaco babies. I don't know if it's available everywhere, but it's really soft. It's for when people knit baby clothes. So this is the thread I'm going to use to go under these threads over here. And I need 8 threads to go with that. So I got 6 right here, but I want to double use black and white. So first you need about 3/4 of an arm span wide of your big thread, and you need to do that twice. And you measure the first thread by the second thread, and then you just cut them through and cut that. Now let me get all that cutting out of the way for a second. And show you how we set these up. Let's get your roll forward. Double that thread up. Go under your roll, pick up the loop. And just pull the 2 threads through your loop. You can do that twice with the black threads. Pick it up and through the loop. There. That's the first 2. Now the cotton needs about 2 arm spans wide. So that basically means that your length will be only 1 arm span, so that's pretty good. And you need 8 of these. So let's start rolling. 2 arm spans wide. Cut that off. And then just measure your other colors by this thread. Now just let me move that over a little bit. I want black to go first and then white. So I'm going to take my light blue and take my black one, and I just hold it and I just measure it by the blue one. And what I also do is, as soon as I'm done with one of the balls, I want to, clean them up, put them away. So I still need black, but I'm done with the blue, so I'm just gonna clean that up, put that away. Just try to make your work environment as clean as possible as soon as possible. There. I'm going to take my black thread and I'm going to put that underneath my poster roll, and there, that's 1 of 8. Okay, So just do another 7 in the colors you desire, and yeah, I would say pause me now until you got all 7 set up. Okay, I hope this will work. Let me pull that forward a bit so you're in view. And now what we're going to do is, you got your 4 thick threads right here, and we're going to pick up the first one on the inside of them, and then we're going to pick up the thin threads, the first bunch, and we're going to split that, and we're going to pick up the black thread, the thicker thread, in our right hands, and sorry for the clanging, that will happen a couple of times, and we're going to put the thin thread over our finger and into our loop, and we're going to pull that together, and make sure that that white thread stays on this top side, that you see that loop. I'm going to do that again, over the finger, into the loop, and now pull them next together and pull them tight, like that. And you can move them over if they're not next to each other, but that's okay. The next thread will take care of that. Pick up the next thread, go over your finger, into the loop, and pull that tight, and watch out that you don't go into the loop that is down here, so pull that tight, but not too tight, I guess. Over your finger again, into the loop, and now you can pull that tight, there. And you can move that over if you want to, so you don't see any black thread right here, or move it over like that. So the next one up for me is the black thread, and you're not going to be able to see that. That's why I did that first with the white thread. But I'm going to do the same thing with the black threads. I'm going to over my finger, into the loop, and carefully move that over. Over my finger, into the loop, and carefully move that over. I'm going to pick up the next one, over my finger, into the loop, and carefully move that over my finger, into the loop, and carefully move that over. And I'm holding this thread straight, but if you want it really tight, then just kind of pull it up like that. And we need a straight line with these threads, so just kind of move that over a little bit so that they're kind of on the same level. Now pick up the next one and do the same. Over your finger, into the loop, and move that over, close to that one. Over your finger, into the loop. And this first line is the most difficult, but it will be okay. There. Now the next one, and you can pull that up a little bit if you want to. Over your finger, into the loop, and pull that over your finger, into the loop, and pull that tight. Now we got 3 on a row, and just do that with the rest of the threads. Just move them over and do what you've just been doing here, and when you get to the end, then we'll do the next row. So pause me now, I would say. Okay, I have now done my first row. My black thread is all the way at the end. I'm going to pick up the next black thread, and I'm going to throw all these threads on my right side again, and I'm going to pick up my first white thread, and you can easily see them now. And pick up my black thread with my right hand again, and my white thread with my left hand, and I'm going to do it all over again. And I'm going to try and stay underneath the first white as much as possible. And it might mean you have to move them over a little bit. And you got to do it tight. You got to go straight underneath the first line with your second line. So you gotta keep that straight. And this is where you might wanna start pulling that black thread up a little bit to just get underneath where you wanna be. So, right there, do that 2 times. There. And I'm pretty much underneath the first 4 white, although this will be straightened out once you start braiding these threads, so kind of move them over. That will be okay. Okay, now don't get confused with your first and your second thread, okay? And make sure that that stays straight. And I'll just pick up your black thread again with your right hand, and then make sure that you get the right thread, because there's 2 blacks that are coming up now, and make sure that you get the first one if you're using black. Okay, so that would be this one. Go over your finger again and pull that up there, over your finger, into the loop, and I'm just going to pull that up there to try and stay as close as possible to my first line. Oh, next thread, over the finger, and up there, over the finger, into the loop, and up there. And you're gonna do your second row all the way to the end, but do not loop this black thread with this black thread. Okay, so when you get to your end, which are my light blues, just leave it there. So pause me now, I would say, until you get to the end. And so we got 2 rows now, and they're pretty straight. And now we're going to pick up the inner of the 2 blacks we have left. Move that over, pick it up with your right hand, and again we're going to go over the black thread into the loop, and we're going to try and stay underneath the white as much as possible. Pick up the next white and just do another row like that, and try to stay close to the first 2 rows. So if you need to pull your black thread up, that's okay. Just pull it up a little bit like that. There. Let's see if you can move that over a bit. So that you hardly see any black thread. And then you're going to pick up the black thread and you're just going to do another row. And then use the last black thread to go underneath and do the last row. And then I will show you what's next to continue to do the next row after we've done the first 4. I went relatively straight. Now we're going to take these 4 off, these 4 lines off of our poster holder, and we're going to put that on the clipboard. And make sure you untangle them first though. Just get them all out like that. One by one is the best thing to do, so they don't tangle up with each other. Get the black. Got the blue. Got the light blue. Almost. Need the white now. The dark blue. The black. And another light blue. There. And just put that onto your clipboard, and you're good to go for the next set. I'm going to start a new video on that because people who already know how to do this can just start from there. So let's get started.